Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat. Thank you. Neelam. Thank you very much. Okay. Perfect. Let's stop the chat. Thank you. Quick information. Yesterday there was no session, and we already have posted that in the WhatsApp group. Okay. There was no session yesterday. Okay. After Route 53, we are moving on to the next service called as RDS, stands for Relational Database Service. Okay. Stands for Relational Database Service. Before getting into the theory of relational database service, as simple as that, look at this. If a client wants to host a relational database, it could be Oracle is an example of an RDS relational database. It could be SQL Server, isn't it? It could be MySQL. We have a lot of relational databases available. DB2, IBM DB2. Okay, if client wants to host these kind of relational databases, option one, what they can do, they can create an EC2 machine as per the required configuration, whatever it is. They can create an EC2 machine. On top of EC2 machine, let's say this is the of the required configuration, what they want, and then on top of EC2 machine, they can install Oracle software. It becomes an Oracle database. Agree or not? If you install Oracle, it becomes an Oracle database. If you install SQL Server, it becomes SQL Server database. It's up to you. How do you want to install? How do you want to use the EC2 machine? Instead of installing the RDBMS products on the EC2 machines, on the operating system, on the EC2 machine manually, they can directly choose a service RDS. There is an exclusive service of Amazon, stands for RDS. So you can, no time, spin up the relational database instances in no time using a special service called as an RDS. And there are some advantages the client gets rather than manually installing Oracle or whatever it is on the EC2 machines and making them as the database servers. Instead of that, there is an set of advantages the client gets when they use this exclusive service called as relational database for hosting their RDS service for hosting their relational databases. So what is the advantages clients gets? Let's get into the practicals. Okay. Have a look at this. Relational databases, as most of us will know it, whenever every application needs a database. So we have relational databases. Relational databases will store the information in the form of rows and columns. So that's nothing but tables. And these are examples of relational databases like SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL. Okay, Postgres. Amazon is also having their own relational database product, Amazon Aurora and MariaDB. These are an example of relational databases. The advantages the client gets. The advantage the client gets when they choose RDS service for hosting the databases is 3 advantages. You need to speak about 3 advantages in the interview. First advantage is automated backups. The first advantage is automated backups. You don't need to depend on a DBA to take a backup. You can define the date and time, and according to that, the database will be backed up. Okay, so that's first automated backups. The second advantage is multi-AZ feature. Multi-AZ, we'll discuss about this. Multi-AZ, multi-availability zone failure. The third advantage is read replicas. That's it. So there are 3 important points you need to mention in the interview, or if anybody is talking about a service called as RDS. The first advantage is automatic backups. The second feature is multi-availability zone feature. The third feature is read replicas. These are the 3 advantages a client gets when they choose relational database service. Automatic backups. Okay, anyways, this can also be handled by DBS. DBS will run the scripts automatically. They can define the date and times according to the script gets executed. But here, Amazon handles by itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and understanding the first advantage of relational database service called as automatic backups. Okay, before that, let's have quick discussion. Victor.
Hi, Sunil. Good evening.
Your volume is very, very low.
Okay, Am I audible now?
Yeah, it is better now.
Hi, Sunil. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, your question.
Mostly, I don't have much questions, but I want to means default. I want to set whenever I log in. I want to go to Mumbai region. Is it possible to set?
Yeah, when you're logging out, when you save it, whenever you're logging out, if you log out from Mumbai, next login will be in Mumbai only. Okay.
No, but it is going to Ohio region. Often I have created VPC in Ohio region. So to
Okay.
avoid that,
Delete all whatever you have created and make sure you remember where exactly you're creating the infrastructure. That's very important. Okay.
Only
And
option is
then
we need to drop down and we have to select.
yes. Okay.
Okay.
Once you do it 2-3 times, by default, it takes the Mumbai only.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
Pankaj Bhage. You are now allowed to unmute Pankaj. Arjun V. Your question. You are now allowed to unmute Arjun.
Yeah, hi, Sunil.
Yes, Arjun. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hope you're doing good.
Yes.
Yeah, coming to RDS, suppose client wants some SAP HANA database like that to be backend DB. So in that case, how in AWS?
As of now, there is no exclusive service for SAP HANA, but they are coming up. Okay. So what they have to do is they have to install it on top of EC2 Mission as of now the solution. Okay.
Okay, I mean manual installation. We
Manual
are doing
installation.
as of
Yes, you are right. As of now. Okay.
Fine. Thank you.
Thank you. You're from SAP?
Yes, Sunil.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, Pankaj. We cannot hear you, Pankaj. Please check your audio settings. Pavant.
Hello.
Yes, Pavant.
Hello, Sunil. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, all good. Thanks
Yes.
for your wonderful session.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, well, I don't have any question right now, but yeah, I'm just want to know about the certification thing.
Okay.
So, okay. So, I'm just preparing for the certification, and I have attended all your session, the previous batch.
Okay. You also please complete Zeal or Stephen Marek.
Yeah,
okay?
almost.
Okay, from UW.
Yeah, almost 80% that is also done.
Okay, then you can once this is done, you can attempt it.
Okay, so the question that you have shared in the video, like with the dumps question, like 400 plus questions, so that's are sufficient for the practice, or
that's more than enough. My dumps as well as Zilora dumps.
Okay.
Sorry,
so
not Zilora. Stephen Marek dumps.
Okay. I'm also going for the VisLab lab test. I'm not sure that is also good or like.
That's also good. No problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sunil.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you.
Sunny Talwar.
Hi, Sunil.
Yes, Sunny.
Good evening.
Good
How
evening.
are you?
Doing well, Sunny. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well as well. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to install one system on AWS, and I'm checking there are two different options. One is Amazon EC2, and one is Amazon EC2 dedicated host.
Okay.
So
Go for EC2. Any specific reason you want it for your personal use or some official?
No. It's an official one only. Actually, I'm doing sizing. Like one of candidate asked that is there any HANA server already there? So I can see there are several services which are coming on Amazon. Like there is a SAP product named as Solman Solution Manager. So there are several pre-installed server as well.
You're right. No. My question is, you need an instance, right? A remote instance.
Yes.
What is the specific reason?
Actually, we need to migrate one server, SAP server. And before that we to AWS.
Okay.
And before that we need to do sizing for that system, like how many CPUs and memory.
Your
and
client wants to go to AWS, right?
Yes, correct.
That's the reason you want to do sizing in AWS.
Yes,
Okay. So please talk to support team, AWS support team. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Sunny. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
very much. A lot.
Let's move on. So only 3 things you need to talk about relational database service. The 3 advantages the client gets is automatic backups, multi-AZ stands for multi-availability zone, and then read replicas. Okay, let's move on. By looking at the term, you can understand automatic backups. Automatic backups help you to recover your database at any point of time. Suddenly your database gets crashed. Your data is always lost, isn't it? So whereas if you take an automatic backups, where if you take a backup, obviously you can restore it from the backups, right? The main reason taking the backup is for restoration. At any point of time, you can restore the backup. Now, what do you mean by the term called retention period? Okay, so how many days you want to maintain the backup? Generally, backups are taken every day, assuming backup is taken every day. So today there will be one backup taken. Let's say we have date and time schedule at every day morning 9 o'clock. The database should be backed up. So the today and morning there will be one database backup. Tomorrow there will be one more backup. Day after tomorrow there will be one more backup. Let's say after 10 days there will be 10 backups available, right? If we don't want older backups, in case if you want to restore, we restore it from the latest one. Agree or not? We don't need older backups. So how many days you want to maintain the backups? That's called retention period. By default, the retention period will be 1 to 35 days. Okay, so that's the range of retention period. You can maintain the backups from 1 day to 35 days. Okay, so generally we don't need older backups. In case if you want to restore, we restore it from the latest backups, is it? So this is the retention period. That is a term called retention period. That's what is generally you may get it in the certification. Automatic backups will take full daily snapshots. On top of it, there will be transaction logs throughout the day. On top of daily, there will be full snapshots as well as incremental backups. Okay, the full, I hope those are in the database background, you can easily understand it. Okay, let's say this is the database. Any database, it could be Oracle or SQL Server, the concept remains the same. This is your relational database. Let's say it is automatic backups is scheduled at daily 9 o'clock. Daily 9 a.m. the backups will be happening. So this is the backup which has taken at 9 o'clock. Okay, this is the 9 o'clock backup. Okay, now let's say the database has crashed at 10 o'clock. Okay, the database has been crashed at 10 April. Okay, so the advantage of backup is, okay, you can recover the backup, but the backup has taken at 9 o'clock. So from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, this 1 hour transactions will be lost. Agree or not? Okay, so that's the reason. What happens is there's something called incremental backup. Every transaction there will be a corresponding incremental backup which will be taken, so that once the full backup is recovered, on top of it the incremental backup will be also recovered. Finally, you will not lose any data. So that's called as transaction logs throughout the day. So when you recover, AWS will first choose the most recent full backup and then apply the transaction logs throughout whatever available, so that there's no data loss. Automatic backups are enabled by default. Okay, by default, when the client chooses RDS, this automatic backup feature will be enabled automatically. Every day the database has been backed up. Okay, and whenever you want to restore, in a click of a button, it gets restored. That's very simple. This is about the automatic backups. I hope I have clearly explained about automatic backups. There's also called manual backup. That's called as snapshots. Manual backups are called as snapshots. Let's say you also want to take one more manual backup. Let's say every day database is backed up at, let's say, 9 o'clock. But exclusively you want a special backup at afternoon 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. You can do that at any point of time by clicking of a button. You can take a manual backup. This manual backup option is also available. They are termed as snapshots. Okay, so whenever you want to restore it, you can also restore it from the snapshot. It's up to you. So there are 2 types of backups. One is automatic backup, the other one is manual backup. Manual backups are called as snapshots. So this is all about a backup concept. Next, Restoring, obviously the main reason whether it is an automatic backup or manual backup is to restore it. Okay, the new when you restore it, you get a new instance. A new instance will have a new DNS point, so that's fine. So you can, there is no concept of losing the data. Next, multi-AZ. The next thing I want to discuss about is multi-AZ. Stands for availability zone. AZ stands for availability zone. Okay, a region is divided into availability zones. Mumbai region is divided to 3 availability zones. So, okay, one availability zone. Mumbai is a region. We all know it. Mumbai is a region, and region is divided into availability zones. In Mumbai, coming to our case, Mumbai is divided into availability zone 1, availability zone 2, availability zone 3. Okay, 3 in case 3, when I say availability zones, each availability zone can be within the same campus. There can be 10 kilometers distance between one availability zone to other availability zone. There can be 100 kilometers distance between one availability zone to availability zone. It's according to geographical location, but according to Mumbai, there are 3 availability zones. Okay, and that's fine. So this is about availability zone. The point here with respect to multi-availability zone feature is, you can understand here in this diagram, US East 1A is availability zone. US East 1B is the second availability. There are 2 availability zones. Multi-availability zone feature allows you to have exact copy of production instance in another AZ. Another AZ stands for availability, another availability zone. So whatever the data is there in the first availability zone, same data will also be there in the second availability zone. That means you have to understand that both the databases will be in synchronized with each other. So when a transaction happens in the production instance, automatically the same transaction will also be available in the second instance. So the instance available in the second availability zone. So both will be equal at any point of time. AWS handles replication. This replication is nothing but synchronization is handled by AWS. Everything is automatic. So when a production database is written, that means when a transaction happens in the production database, it will write automatically to the synchronized standby database. This is the standby database. If anything happens here, if the data gets updated here, automatically the data gets updated here. Both will be equal at any point of time. Now, what is the advantage of this kind of standby database? What is the advantage the client gets? In case of planned database maintenance, sometimes DBS will have a planned maintenance activity. For that cases, they want to make the database down to remove the log files or whatever it is to improve the performance. Or option 1 is maintenance activity if the DBS wants to, or the instance failure if this hardware is failed, or availability zone if the complete availability zone is lost. These are the 3 cases of downtime: database maintenance, instance failures, availability zone failure. Okay, do you remember in probably 5 years back, 5 to 4 years back, we used to get messages from banks like HDFC, ICICI saying that the internet banking will not be available at midnight, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Do you remember 3 to 4 years back, we used to get these kind of SMSs from ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank saying that we have a maintenance activity going on. The internet banking will not be available at midnight, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So this is called planned maintenance. At that time, there will be downtime of the servers. So in that case of planned maintenance activity or the database instance in availability zone, there are 3 cases of downtime. Now here that we don't need here in this case, we don't need the downtime at all, because Amazon RDS will automatically fail over to the standby database. If this is down, okay, DBS can make this down automatically. End users don't need to have any downtime. Automatically end users will be directed to the standby database. So the database operations can resume quickly without administration intervention. If the hardware is failed, automatically the traffic is directed to standby instance. If the complete availability zone is also failed, the traffic is directed to standby instances. So there will be no downtime. This is the second advantage of multi-availability zone feature. So both the DB servers will have same DNS endpoint, so there will be no connectivity issues at all. End users, in case the primary instance is down, automatically it will be directed to standby instance. So users will not have any downtime at all in these cases. So finally, it's eliminating the downtime. That is about availability zone feature. Third feature, as I mentioned, RDS is all about discussing 3 features. That's it. Automatic backups we have discussed, or multi-availability zone we have discussed. to avoid the downtime with respect to 3 planned maintenance activity or instance failure or availability zone failure. Third feature is read replicas. Okay, before discussing about read replica, before getting into theory of read replicas, I just want to tell you that in database, the data will be stored in the form of tables, right? Rows and columns. Okay. All the activities related to database, all the communication related to database will be can be categorized into 2 types. Read activity, read operations, write operations. Isn't it? The communication generally to the database will be in 2 types: read operations or write operations. If you want to read the data, okay, let's say I want to download a mini statement. That means I want to retrieve the data. In such case, technically there will be a select statement that gets executed. Write operations is nothing but whenever you're performing a new transaction, a new row will be created, or when you are updating the transaction, when you're updating your mobile number in your profile, there will be updates happening in the database. Okay, where you can delete it, whatever it is. So this is called as write operations are nothing but DML commands, technically insert, update, and delete. So these are the 2 types of operations happens with respect to database. Out of this, there will be heavy performance issues with respect to select statements. Always there are performance issues with respect to select statements. Because when you select statement, when you are reading the data, when you're pulling huge number of records, it will take a lot of time. Generally, the applications go down. Applications not going down. The applications will be slow because of heavy read operations. When applications are slow, generally we get a complaints from the customer saying that the application is not responding. The application is literally so. So this kind of complaints we get it from the end users. The main issues with respect to performance of the application, considering the database point of view, is read operations. Write operations, there will be no performance issues at all, because it's when we are writing it specific to few records only. Issues happens with respect to read operations. To overcome this kind of issues with respect, performance issues with respect to read operations, finally application should behave perfectly fast. Then there comes the concept of read replica. By looking at the name of the feature, you can say read replicas is related to read operations. Replica is nothing but duplicate, right? Replica, general term of the term replica, duplicate. This is a replica of iPhone. This is replica of iWatch. This is replica of Taj Mahal. The replica is nothing but duplicate. The concept is read replicas. Okay, now what read replicas, how read replicas? So finally you have to understand the read replicas will help you in improving the performance of read operations. How read replicas will improve the performance of read operations? Let's try to understand. Read replica feature allows you to have a read-only copy of the production database. Read-only copy, not the live copy, read-only copy. That means this particular replicas will help in read operations only. This availability zone, the previous example, this is also considered as replica. Agree? This is also a replica. I can see here replication is handled for you. This is also in availability zone explanation. This is also replica, but this is only, it's not only for read operations. This is for both write operations also. This is down. Even this can be read, this can be written, this can be deleted, everything. This is exact duplicate copy. This is not read. This is not only read only copy, whereas read replicas is only read only copy. Okay, it allows you to have a read only copy of the production database. This can be achieved by asynchronized replication from the primary DNS, that's the main instance, to the read replicas. Read replicas is nothing but the duplicate copies of the instances, which helps in only read operations. Generally, read replicas feature is used to primarily to overcome the very read heavy database workloads. Database will be very loaded, overloaded with respect to continuous read operations when there are more number of users pulling huge volumes of data. In such cases, application performance will be very low. Such cases, read replicas feature should be enabled in such kind of cases. It's not for scaling. Don't think that we are doubling the instances or tripling the instances. No, it's only for you cannot use read replicas for disaster recovery. If the main site is down, if main instance is down, you can use the read replica instance. No, it's not only for disaster recovery. It's not for scaling. It's only for improving the performance of the read operations. You can have up to 5 read replicas, 5 duplicate copies of any database. Maximum number of read replicas are 5. You can have read replicas of read replicas. Okay, you can have duplicates of read replicas, but that generally is not recommended. 5 read replicas is more than enough. So when database receives a heavy heavy read request, it diverts to read replicas. Instead of actual database becoming very heavy, it will be diverting to read replicas. The query gets executed on the read replica, and they get the results from the read replica, so that the primary instance will not have any load, so that the application will behave very smoothly, or performance of the application will be very high. Okay, each read replica will have DNS endpoints. You don't need to worry about this. This is how the read replicas helps in improving the performance of the read operations. So these are the 3 important points, my dear friends. These are the 3 important points. You have to explain it in the interview or in the certification point of view. You will find these kind of questions. This conceptual knowledge helps you to appear the examination also. So finally, the relational database will help you to get these 3 advantages. RDS service, automatic backups, availability zone failures can be handled automatically, the read replicas feature. Naresh Putru, am I clear about the advantages of relational database service when the client chooses? You are allowed to unmute, Naresh. I can see your hand raise. Niyati Yashwani. Yashaswani. Any question?
Hello.
Yes, Niyati.
Hi, Sunil.
How are you?
I'm fine. Little cold.
Okay. Any question?
Yeah. I don't have questions right now.
Okay. Vaibhav Atke. Vaibhav, you are allowed to unmute. Vishnu Kale. You are allowed to unmute, Vishnu, if you have any questions. Ajita T.
Yes, sir.
How are you, Ajita?
Hello. Yeah, fine. How are you, Sunil?
Doing well, yes.
Actually, by past 1 month.
Okay. How is the learning going on, AWS?
It's very good.
Thank you. Yes. Your question.
Yeah, actually, I have 3 years of experience on Java domain. I want to change mine to DevOps and AWS.
Yes. Okay.
How far it's good?
It's good in case if you're planning to shift your technology. I strongly recommend to go with DevOps and AWS because it's right now doing good in the market. So, are you learning DevOps?
Yeah.
Okay.
But how can I manage projects
are you learning?
And all?
Are you learning DevOps?
Yes.
Which batch?
Not here. Actually, previous only I joined Cloud Train.
Okay. Okay.
But last 6 months only I joined.
6 months back, you have joined DevOps in other institute. Okay. Okay.
Cloud Train, something Mumbai Zone.
Okay. Okay. Clear. Yeah. Okay. So perfect.
No, one doubt. How can I manage projects and all DevOps projects?
Did they explain about project, Ajita? Have you completed the course?
Yeah, completed.
Okay. Okay. So did you give any projects? Did they give any projects?
No, they didn't give any.
So I recommend you, please. I have some projects on YouTube channel. Okay, Logic Labs Technologies YouTube channel, Ajita. You can understand that particular project and mention these projects in your resume. Okay.
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 Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mukesh Divan. No questions, Mukesh? Gokul Kumar.
Hi Sunil.
One minute.
Hi Sunil, Mukesh this side. Sunil, I'm interested apart from this AWS associate level, I also want or inquire about the associate professional level course as well. So
I
when
am
you
not.
going to
I am
start?
not providing professional level, Mukesh.
Can I get an course of contents in professional level so that I can also look up on the YouTube as well? If you have.
No, I don't have content because I don't train it. So that's the reason I have not prepared content. Okay. Okay. So.
But Sunil, although I find that you are teaching in a very good manner, and many of the guys also get uh, good responses from your side, not only from the job side, but from the upskill side. So I also want that something should be there so that we can, if someone is ready to go in the AWS side, apart from the DevOps, so he can also get an help from your side as well.
You want advanced level training, professional level.
Yes, correct. Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay. Let me think of it. Okay. So right now, this is what I'm training, associate level. Okay. In case if I'm ready, I will share you the details. Okay.
I hope that it's not a big task for you, but maybe soon I'll expect this from your side, so that whoever has joined or now learning from your side, they will also going to be interested to learn the professional level.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, I will try. Okay. Okay, Mukesh.
Yeah, thank you, Sunil.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's get into the practicals of Route 53. So quick recap, you can see there are two types of backups, manual backups and automated backups. Every backup will be maintained maximum of 35 days. That's called as a retention period. Default retention period is 7 days. If you take a backup today, it will be available for the next 7 days. Incremental backups will also happen, not every minute. Incremental backup is also available feature so that there is no loss of data. Manual backups are user initiated. Manual backups are nothing but snapshots. How do you eliminate downtimes? Interview from interview point of view, how do you eliminate downtime of the database with respect to availability zone failure? So that is about multi-agent feature. Protecting the heavy read operations, that also possible by using read replicas. So let's get into the practicals of RDS. So let's learn how can we quickly create one instance. Okay, and where exactly all these features are available. So sign in. Under services, we have database. Under database, we have an exclusive service called RDS, Managed Relational Database Service, RDS. This is how the relational database dashboard looks like. And you can see right now 0 out of 20. There's 0 databases, and the databases dashboard also, like EC2 dashboard, you'll find all the EC2 machines. In the same way, here you'll find all the RDS instances. Right now, there are no instances found. Let's go ahead and create a database instance. Okay. Look at this, create database. Standard create, easy create, we'll go for standard create. All the products are available. Like templates, you can, client wants an Oracle instance, go ahead and proceed. Okay, so there are a lot of instances available. You can also get many other instances which are not there in this particular list. I want to go with MySQL because it's eligible for free tier. Okay, so otherwise the rest of instances, once you create it, you start receiving the bill. So to avoid the bill, I'm going for MySQL bits because it's an open source instance. The moment you select the database product, that's MySQL. You get list of all available options. So let's go with the default one. And do you want this instance for production or development or test activities? So production is generally for high configuration instances, test and device for replicating the production instances. But I want to select the free tier options. Okay, so I want to get free tier. So because ours is a free tier account. This is the name of the database instance. Okay, whichever you want to apply. I want to name it as MyDB instance name. The username is admin, the password, whichever you want to provide. Okay, master password. This is the admin password, so that once the instance is ready, or DBS or whoever wants to connect to this instance, they'll be logging with the default credentials what you have entered. This instance comes with how much configuration. So as I have selected free tier, it is a very low configuration of 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM, but technically you can have a higher configuration instances. Okay, these are grayed out because I have selected free tier. It uses SSD storage type, and it if you want, you can allocate 20 GB of storage or 200 GB of storage. It's up to you. The default is 20 GB. Okay. Enable storage auto scaling. So I don't know storage auto scaling. Multi-AZ feature, as I explained, do you want to enable a multi-AZ? The moment you select create a multi-AZ feature, automatically you need to select the second standby availability zone. Right now they are grayed out because these are part of paid features. Okay. So do you want to have a public access? Yes. And do you want to create a new security group? Do you want the instance to be created for the security group settings? Okay, so I want to create a new security group. This is a security group name, whichever you want. DBSG. In which availability zone you want to create the instance in 1A? This is the database port number. So these are additional configurations. Initial database name, it's MyDB instance. Enable automatic backups. Do you want to enable automatic backup? By default, it will be selected. Retention period is 7 days. You know, the backup will be available for the 7 days. The maximum retention period is 35 days. You know that. Okay. Do you want to monitor the performance of the instances? So all these are the options. If you want to protect the instance, you can enable the protection. I don't want to do that. Let's go with basic settings and go ahead and create the instance. So this will take some time. So instance, the traditional approach I'm talking about before cloud. We have to install it. We have to download the software. So it is Oracle, and you have to follow the steps of installing the process of Oracle or SQL Server. But here, everything is on a click of a button. Okay, templates are available. The required configuration, you can select it. That's it. Everything is scalable. So cloud is becoming more mature, and then there's a lot of less dependencies on database administrator because database itself is becoming mature towards autonomous database. On top of it, cloud is becoming more autonomous. So slowly the dependencies on the database administrators will be removed in the coming future. If the client wants to have 10 DBS, now the client don't need to have 10 DBS. There'll be 1 DBS more than enough to maintain all the instances. So that's how the industry is moving. Okay. Same the case with network administrators as well as system administrators. So let's wait for the database to be created. Let's have interaction. Terence, how are you?
I'm good. Good evening, and for me it's 7:40 a.m. here.
Yes.
So
okay.
Thanks for all the information you're giving out.
Thank you.
My question is, given that you said replication and backups is an advantage of using Amazon RDS, is the space part of the free advantage, or we still have to pay for the space of the replication and the backups? And
you have to
so
pay.
say I have a
You have to pay. Okay,
500
nothing is free.
megabytes. Okay.
The moment you enable read replicas, there is a corresponding billing that will be generated. Okay, and when you enable availability zone, it maintains a duplicate copy of the instance. Am I right? So you have to pay for the main primary instance. You also have to pay for the standby instance also. Okay, so double the bill.
Okay. So it's
And
not really an advantage.
no,
The
it's
only
not free. And the more the backups, the more consumption of volumes. The more the volumes, the more the bill you get. Okay, so AWS is always with good with respect to features, and the same way with the billing. Okay.
The only advantage is that it's not the DBA that's doing the backups and everything, but now it's done by Amazon. That we still have
Clients
to pay for.
clients instead of paying the salaries and maintaining the human resources, they maintain the clouds.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Subhashri.
Hi, Sunil.
Yes.
Actually, I want to ask this DBA instance you created, right? How you will connect this to on private private subnet or VPC?
No, do you remember we have created we have selected a security group. Okay.
Yes.
Do you remember when you're creating the instances, we have selected security group. So you open the security group rules here. Let's say 3306 is that I think the port number for the database. That you open it to the web server security group. So that's enough. The communication starts. Okay. Subhasri.
Can you please repeat again?
No, there is a security group that got created, right? Do you remember?
Yes.
So here when you are creating the instances, automatically there was a security group that got created. I'll show you. Let's wait. Still creating.
Okay.
Can you see this is a security group that got created?
Yes.
This is the security group of the instance which gets created, DBSG2. Okay. This security group again refers to the EC2 mission dashboard. Now where are we in the EC2 mission? I'm referring to the same security groups. In this particular security group, go to inbound rules. Okay. Edit inbound rules and open that. Right now its port is open and you can port open to the subnet of the public subnet. Okay. So that particular web servers will communicate to the database instances. Okay, Sai?
Okay. And I have one more question regarding that VPC. When you create one VPC, automatically that one NACL gets created, right?
Yes.
And that NACL is automatically attaching that whatever that subnets you have created.
Not all the subnets. I think when you're creating a VPC, then when you're creating a VPC, there is NACL created. So it's always recommended to create a new NACL. Don't use the default NACL that gets created.
Okay, but that in default, not default, when you create one new VPC, that time one more NACL got created.
Yes, you are right. That does not have any effect on it.
I saw one thing like two subnets attached to that particular NACL. And
I don't think so. Okay, that's okay. If it's okay, what's the problem?
The problem is like when already that NACL subnets and got attached, then why it was not blocking that any server?
Are you sure that NACL is check that whether the NACL is connected to the public subnet or not? Okay. Did you verify?
No.
Okay, you have to verify whether that NACL that was created automatically when you created a VPC. No, when you say that when a VPC gets created, NACL gets created, right? If you create a VPC and if you don't create subnet, that NACL will be attached to which subnet? There will be no subnets at all. That means that NACL is dummy NACL. Agree?
Okay.
Are you understanding? When you create a VPC, NACL gets created. So there is an NACL without subnets because the VPC is empty. That means that NACL is a dummy NACL. Okay.
But after creating that subnet,
it's up to you whether you want to use it or not. I think it will not get attached automatically. We have to attach it manually. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Check
sir.
that.
Thank
Check
you.
it. Okay. So I think you can see now the database instance is perfectly running. Okay. The database instance is T2 micro instance. Like how EC2 machines are T2 micro, here also we have T2 micro instances. So the instance is readily available. Okay. Whenever you create an instance, automatically the backup will be created for the first time. Okay. That backups will be available here. All the backups will be, I think every day there will be, as I told, the backups will be enabled every day. The automatic backups happen. Now where can we see list of all the backups? In the automated backups here. Right now one backup is available. This backup will be created automatically when you create an instance. If you log in tomorrow, you'll find the second backup. Like this, every day there will be continuous backups available, and those backups will be available in the automatic backups. In case if you take a backup manually, those are called as snapshots. In case if you want to take a backup manually, those are called as snapshots. How to take a backup manually? Select the instance whichever you want. There's an option called actions. There's an option called take snapshot. In case if you want to take a manual backup, if it assuming if it is a non-cloud environment, you have to write a lot of scripts to take the manual backup. But here everything is click of a button. You don't need to learn database administrations to handle this kind of backups and all those restoring. So everything is click of a button. If you take snapshot, I'm not doing it because it will take a long time. But when the moment you take snapshot, the snapshot will be available in the snapshots dashboard. Right now there are no snapshots because I have not taken any snapshot. In case if you take it, that will be available. If you want to restore it, then here we have an option of restoring. Select the snapshot and there's an option called under actions, you'll find restore, where you can restore the backup, restore that particular snapshot to the back to the instance. And here you find all the automatic backups. In case if you want to restore, you can restore it to the point in time. Okay, so it's up to you. So that's so it's all click of a button. Taking a backup, restoring the backup. It's all, you don't need to learn a database administrator. So it's everything very user interface is very simple. Okay. You have an option to take, you can take a snapshot when client wants this particular instance to be replicated in a different region. Right now, this particular instance is in Mumbai region. Right now, you can see like EC2 machines are region specific. The RDS instances are also region specific. So if you want to, if you want to take a, if you want to move the instance, the client wants to maintain the duplicate copy of that particular instance, you can do that. Okay, where you can select a particular snapshot. There's an option called copy snapshot. Okay, here there's an option called copy snapshot. Right now that's not enabled because there are no snapshots available. Just for your information, there's an option called copy snapshot, and when you copy a snapshot, you will ask you whether do you want to, in which region you want that copy to be available. Like how in the EC2 machine we are able to move the volumes. Agree, isn't it? We are able to move the volumes by using the snapshot. That's the snapshot term used in the EC2. The same concept is used here. This is for moving the database instances to a different region. Okay. Multi-AZ feature, as I have mentioned you, as I am creating the instances, when I have created the instance, I have not enabled because it's a billable option. The moment you select multi-availability zone, enable it, you will start getting the bill, and then you have to mention the destination region so that the stand-up instance, standby database will be created automatically, and synchronization also happens automatically. Previously, the EBS used to maintain synchronization between the instances, but here everything happens automatically. How to create read replicas? There's an option called here create read replica. Okay, when you create read replica, I'm not clicking that because the moment you create a read replica, so it helps you to create a read replica. So that we don't need to manually use the read replicas. There will be algorithms which automatically redirects the heavy read operations to the read replica, so that the application performance will be much more improved. Okay. In case if you don't want the instance, okay, obviously you can delete that instance in no time. Select the instance. There's an option called actions. Delete the instance. When you want to delete the instance, do you want to take a final snapshot before deleting? No, I don't want to take a final snapshot. And there's an option called, you have to type delete me. I acknowledge the settings. I agree for deleting the instances. That instance will be deleted, and the corresponding snapshot which has taken automatically will also be deleted. Okay. So deleting instance will take approximately 3 to 4 minutes of time. So this will take 3 to 4 minutes of time for the instance to be deleted. Okay. Ranjit Das. Your question, Ranjit Das. No questions. Vinesh Shah.
Hey, can you, since SQL has only one copy on which we can write only, right? Rest of the copies will be read only.
Yeah, with respect to this particular read only feature, read replicas. Okay, so read replicas is used only for read operations. You cannot write the information on the read replica.
So can you explain how do I increase the performance in web servers? I can create 10 different web servers to increase the
web traffic. Okay.
So in SQL, what should I do?
You enable the read replica feature. Okay. When you enable read replicas, obviously performance with respect to the database gets increases. As I mentioned, Vinesh, performance issues only is for the select statements technically, isn't it, Vinesh?
Yeah.
Looks like you are from the database background.
No, I'm not from select.
Okay, generally performance issues comes with respect to select statements. That is read operations. So to overcome that performance issues, when you enable read replicas, automatically the performance of the database will be increased. Okay. If you still increase the performance, if you still want to increase the performance of the database, then you need to change the size of the instance. Right now it is T2 micro, right? You can increase it to T2 medium, T2 large, so that the number of process and number of the memory gets increased. Okay. So that's how we can improve the performance from the database point of view. Unlike web servers, in web servers, what we do, we increase the web servers, right? Auto scaling. Okay. But here it's read replicas as well as improving the performance, increasing the hardware configuration of existing instances. This is called as vertical scaling. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
And okay, yeah. And when will be the next DevOps batch? Expected time?
20 days.
Morning or evening?
Definitely not morning. It will be before lunch, before lunchtime.
Around 2-3.
No, before lunch, I said. Maybe
okay.
at 11 o'clock. But yeah, not yet decided. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ravinder Ji.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Yes, a lot of background noise, Ravinder.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yes.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Thanks for choosing.
Okay.
We've been raising since first class of time.
Okay. Yes.
I just wanted to. I have one question. So there are two AWS environments. Okay. So if there are two databases.
Okay.
So as per S3 concepts, there is no database.
No. When you're talking about two AWS environment, let's say for example, you are maintaining your AWS account and I'm maintaining my AWS account. You're talking about.
Yeah. There's an Oracle database and second one is DB2. Okay.
Okay. You're talking about in the RDS service, there are two instances. Okay.
Yes.
So no, your question is, your point is in the relational database, there are two instances, like we have just created one instances. There are two instances. One is Oracle instance, the other one is SQL Server instance.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we want to communicate from Oracle system to this DB2 or whatever different databases,
you can do that. Every instance will have corresponding security group gets created automatically, isn't it? Have you seen now? When we have created instance, there was security group that got created. Okay.
Yes.
So in the same way, second instance will have there is corresponding security group. As there are two instances, there will be two security groups. Security group 1, okay, and security group 2. Okay. So in security group 1, allow security group 2, SG2. Okay. In SG2, allow SG1. Okay. So both the instances will communicate with each other. Okay.
Okay.
Got it, Ravindra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So as you have seen now, the instance has been deleted and the corresponding backup which has taken automatically, that's also will be deleted. So when the instance is removed, automatically there's no meaning in automatically the backups will also be deleted. Okay. So this is all about RDS instance. So you three primary features you need to focus in the certification or in the interview. One is read replicas. The other one is multi-AZ feature. The other one is automatic backup. Okay. I want to also discuss one important service called as Cloud Trial. Okay. I also want to move on to the next service. I also want to discuss one more service called as Cloud Trial. Okay. What is Cloud Trial all about? Try to understand there is a lot of importance for Cloud Trial. It is called as an auditing service. Cloud Trial is an audit service. In the identity and management service, we have learned how to create users, how to create groups, how to assign users to the groups, how to assign policies to the users. We have done that, right? Let's say there are 3 IAM users, my dear friends. Let's say there are 3 IAM users: user 1, user 2, user 3. The 3 users. Okay. All the 3 users are having S3 policy. That means S3 full access. User 1 is having S3 full access policy. Yes, user 2 is having S3 full access. User 3 is also having S3. All the 3 users can connect to the S3 service and they can create the buckets, delete the buckets, whatever they want. They can do that. Okay. Let's say clients are maintaining very important data in the buckets. Assuming the client is maintaining very important data in the bucket. User 3 by mistake has deleted it. That's a very serious problem. Very, very serious problem. A user by mistake, by mistake, he has deleted it. Now clients are not able to access the data because the bucket is deleted. Okay. Now how the client, let's say how an infrastructure management manager knows which user has done it. There are 3 users, right? How to identify? Nobody claims that I have deleted it. Okay. Let's say no one is claiming that I have deleted it. How to know which user has done it? At what time the bucket has been deleted? Who has done that? Okay, so there should be some tool which will maintain all the events which are happening on the AWS cloud. If a EC2 machine gets created, when the EC2 machine got created, who has created it? Who has created? That's more important. If some EC2 machine got terminated, who has terminated that? So there should be tracking. There should be an audit service where everything should be tracked. When a user gets logged in, login and logout time of every IAM user. When the EC2 machine got terminated, who has created that? When the bucket is created, when the bucket is deleted. Everything is tracked using a service called as Cloud Trial. Let's say someone has deleted the bucket. How to know which user has done this? At what time it has happened? We can track every information in the service called as Cloud Trial. All the activities of all the users in the AWS cloud. If a client is recruiting 10 users of AWS team, everybody, what all they are doing, at what time they are logging in, how they are logging in, everything is tracked using a service called as Cloud Trial. So let's experience a very interesting service called Cloud Trial and search for this service called as Cloud Trial. In the Cloud Trial, there is something called event history. Everything is tracked. In the event history, everything is tracked. I have deleted the DB instance, right? I have just now, before this, I have created DB instance at so and so time, and I have deleted the DB instances. Everything is tracked. Which user has done it? Root user has done it. When it has done it on December today. So what all I have done it today? You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all the activities I have done it today. I have stopped the instances. I have created tags. Okay, so everything is tracked. You can see the which user has done it. Everything is tracked. Even the security group deletion is also tracked. Everything is tracked. For example, if you want to list out all the events related to S3, for example, you can also filter the records based on the event also. For example, resource type, I can write it as S3 bucket. You can see these are the activities happen with respect to S3 buckets. Creating bucket, everything is done. You can also see a root user has done that. Resource type IAM user. Deleted the user. I have created IAM user. User was created. Who has created the user? Root user has created. Everything with respect to every service. Okay, everything is with respect to every service. You can filter the records based on the event type. You can filter the records based on the resource type. You can filter the records based on the date and time. And you can also download that particular events in the form of an Excel file. CSV is nothing but the Excel file. Like this, let's say as a manager, let's say you are handling a team of 10 AWS engineers. Obviously, those 10 resources are nothing but IAM users. You in the cloud, in the event history, you can also see what user is doing what kind of activities. Maybe the users are available in a remote location, or the manager who is monitoring the EC2 AWS client infrastructure may be in a different location. But everything can be tracked using a beautiful service called as Cloud Trial. That's why it's called as an audit service. You can filter the records. Okay, you can observation. We can see every records based on the events performed. You can filter the records. You can download the records based on specific time. If you want all the transactions done on specific day can be downloaded. All the transactions specific, all the events done on specific service can be downloaded. Okay, only root user will have the event history. IAM user will not have event history. Only root user can have the IAM history. IAM users will not have access to see the event history. So that's a beautiful service called as Cloud Trial, where we can monitor whatever it's happening at the back end. Okay, I think it is very, very important. I hope you have now understood the importance of audit service that's called as Cloud Trial. Okay. Okay. Tanishka Chandran.
Hi.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, Sunil. Yeah, it's amazing training session. The
Thank
practical is more making me been working in AWS.
Thank you.
So that's happy to always want to tell.
Thank you. Thank you for the feedback.
Many,
please refer to your friends in our upcoming batches if anybody wants to join.
Sure. Yeah, I attended other couple of sessions, so it was like lagging in practical sessions.
Okay.
So theoretically they try to explain, but that never stays in the mind.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Tanishka.
My question is straightforward on one thing. So I created EC2 missions, right, in one of the regions. Can we move that EC2 missions to other regions?
Okay. Yes, there can be possible. There is a possibility. Okay. The process, what you need to follow. Let's say this is Mumbai region.
Okay.
Singapore region. Okay. This is an EC2 mission. Okay. The EC2 mission will have corresponding volume attached to it. Do you remember? Isn't it?
Yeah. Right.
You want exact copy of it, right? Exact copy of the duplicate of it in the Singapore instance. Okay. So what you have to do, the turnaround solution, what you have to do is to create an AMI out of the EC2 mission. Okay. Amazon mission image. How to create an AMI? Very simple. So select the EC2 mission. There's an option called create AMI. Okay. Let's say this is the instance. There's options, so actions, go to image, create image. Okay. Image stands for Amazon mission image. The moment you create an image, that image will be available under images. There can you see AMIs. That image right now there are no images because I have not created it. The image will be available. Okay. Once the image is available, you can select the image. There's an option called copy AMI. Okay. When you select copy AMI, it will ask you where do you want to copy the AMI. You have to select the destination region as Singapore. Okay. So once you copy the AMI will be available in the Singapore region.
Excellent.
Once the AMI is available in the Singapore region, let's say now switch to Singapore region.
Oh, okay.
Once you then switch to Singapore region, 1 minute, please. Switch to Singapore region. Now that AMI will be available in the Singapore region. Okay, here. Okay, right now that AMI will be available in the Singapore region. Now we don't want AMI. Finally, what we want is an instance, isn't it? So from the out of AMI, you have to create an instance. So when you're launching the instances, on step 1, rather than choosing the predefined images, here you have an option called My AMIs. Under My AMIs, you will find that AMI. Right now, there are no AMIs. You'll find that AMI here, and select this your AMI and complete the rest of all the process. The replica of that particular EC2 machine will be now available in the Singapore.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Clear. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you all. We have enjoyed the session. Quick notice. So we are in day 20. Okay. I think as per my analysis, probably 2 days more. Okay. 21 and 22. There are few miscellaneous services which to be covered. The primary services, everything is done. We have to discuss about few other services like cloud notification service, and then email service, and then I want to discuss about very important queuing service, simple queuing service, SQS. So there are few miscellaneous services. Each service will take very less time. So hardly 2 or 3 days more to complete the batch. Okay. So, but even though they are miscellaneous, please don't neglect them. So please continue and make sure you complete the entire batch. See you tomorrow, where we'll discuss about the other services. Thank you very much, and bye everybody.